What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more. Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast where we try to give you some actionable items that can help improve your overall contact center, improve your agent quality, and hopefully improve the customer experience as well. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is staying safe. I know we're hopefully at the, I guess maybe we bottomed out and we're kind of on our way working back up. That's at least what we're all hoping for right now. We're in Pennsylvania where we are kind of having the debate of whether things should be opening back up or not. Luckily, we are in northwestern Pennsylvania, so I'm away from Philadelphia and really Pittsburgh as well. So we've seen very low episodes of COVID-19. So we think, and what people are saying is we should be one of the first counties and cities to open back up in Pennsylvania. So fingers crossed on that. Luckily, we have been able to stay open, but I know that there's a lot of people that are really hurting. So hopefully we can get this thing moving again here very shortly. A couple quick things, guys, before I want to talk today. I want to talk about security with your at-home agents, right? So we've kind of talked a lot about building a foundation for call center agents at home. What are some of the techniques that we've been using that I think are helpful? But we really haven't talked a lot about security and PCI compliance and even kind of delving a little bit into HIPAA. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about that today. But one quick thing, May 6th, which is kind of coming up here, I am going to be a solo customer presenter for NICE inContact on a tmcnet.com webinar. So it's May 6th for an hour. Pretty excited. I get a bunch of time to talk, which is always, I guess, pretty good for me. But basically gonna lay out the plan that we did for our at-home agents in real detail, right? So it's kind of the gist of the webinar is really laying the foundation for your at-home. But I wanted to go into real detail on the things that we're doing. So I don't like theoretical, like pie in the sky kind of things of what you should be doing, but trying to give you guys some really, again, actionable items. So I think that's a cool webinar. We just did a webinar with NICE inContact on the 23rd last Wednesday, Thursday. It went really well with a couple of friends from basically the Connecticut 211 and the Tampa Bay 211 contact center. So really cool. Check that out. If you want to see any of the stuff that I'm on or any of the webinars that we'll be doing, just look me up on LinkedIn, also on Twitter, and there's the Advice from Call Center Geek Twitter and LinkedIn as well. But okay, let's talk about security. So, everybody's moved, or most people, 99% of you guys have moved to some type of virtualization of your contact center. You have at-home agents, whether you're a financial services call center, whether you're a retail call center, whether you're in any type of industry that's using credit card information, security information, investment information, or those type of really kind of details that need to be secure. I was always very nervous about that with at-home agents. So I've thought about this a lot with some of the things that we have done and wanted to do and have kind of implemented with security with our at-home agents. So let's talk about the basic stuff first, right? So we are giving all of our agents their computers. So they get a computer, they get a headset, they get a keyboard, they get a mouse when they take the system home. So we did that so we can make sure that we have all the stuff, right, that we want on there. Stuff meaning any type of enterprise virus protection, right? We use Sophos for that. So we have enterprise virus protection on all the computers that these guys are bringing home. We have to make sure that we have the system as locked down as we possibly can so that there's no data that can be used from a flash drive that can be downloaded or uploaded, trying to be as secure as we possibly can. Making sure that the computer, we have basically a 1 minute kind of go to sleep, right? So the computer locks after 1 minute. Things like that I think are really important. The other thing is we have to make sure we're using LogMeIn, that you have some way to log into the computer in case there's an issue. That's a little bit security, but that's also a little bit so it's not a real pain in the rear in case you have issues with your associates, with a technical issue. But this way, I think it's important too that they always know that you can be on their system, that you can be there. We also have the reps tell us when they're logging off. Like, we know when their shift is over, but let's say the shift's over at 8 o'clock. They're going to say, hey, 8 o'clock, logging off. So we know the computer should be off. So we can go in and check and log me in to make sure that the system is actually off, that they're not using it for anything other than for the work purposes. I think that's kind of an important deal as well. That's what we have done with the systems and the computers that we're giving to the associates. We've also found, just as an FYI, not too much on the security, it's okay. Wi-Fi is good, right? And most of the Wi-Fi has worked. 90% of the time it's really good. But for those 5 to 7% times when it's just not working, we're trying to have all of the reps kind of just plug in right to the router if they can, right? So that's the preferred method. Secondary is to use the Wi-Fi, but that's some things that you may want to kind of talk with your associates as well. And the other thing is we're hearing a lot of people are using Bluetooth headsets. That's a real struggle, I think, especially when you're using kind of Wi-Fi with Bluetooth. There's just a lot of points of failure there. So I know it's difficult to find some USB headsets right now, but trying to find some things that they're definitely wired into the computer. All right, let's talk about some policies and procedures. So every single associate, because they're taking their computer home, is getting their own. We have them sign a policy that basically says all the things that we just kind of talked about. They're only going to use it for work purposes. They're only going to log in during certain times when their shift is there. Those types of things, and also that they're going to bring it back. They understand that we're going to hold their check until if they decide to quit or no longer be part of the organization, then they have to bring their computer back in. We give them their check, so we hold that last check with that. So just some real basic things, nothing too crazy, but just so they understand that it's for work only, that they are going to make sure that it's logged off when they're not on it, those types of things. Let's talk about something that's kind of a bigger deal as well, which is PCI compliance. And you guys know I've said this a couple times, is a lot of the times at-home agents, just because your policies are PCI compliant, the actual process, what the reps are doing is not. Right? So you have to make sure that if you're collecting credit card information that you have some type of PCI method. So let's talk about this for a second. So there's preferred ways for PCI compliance. Number one is that we don't store any or collect any credit card information. So the best way to do this, right, is if you are selling a product or if you're collecting credit card information, that when that customer calls in, if it's a one-time deal, right, so the product is going to be $22.72. There are, and I'm not going to name them because I'm not here to vouch for any vendor here, but there's a lot of software that's out there that allows a customer to use their phone and just punch their digits in while they're talking to the associate, right? So then that way the associate never hears here's what the credit card information is. It can fill into the screen, automatically go out to the credit card processor, come back and be good. So that's one way of doing it. That's kind of the preferred. But a lot of times, a lot of you guys and a lot of the clients that we have maybe monthly payments, right? So, right, whether there is a credit card that's going to be put on file, those types of things that need to be stored in a system or maybe for us given to the client. So if we can't do just a natural purchase, right, then what we've been doing is using the IVR. And we have some API connectivity, and this is something very easily that you can do as well. And it doesn't matter if you have running Contact or a Five9 or a Genesis or a TalkDesk. These are some methods that you can use for anything. And when we get to a point in the screen or point in the call that there is going to be credit card information done, we say, for security purposes, Mrs. Smith, we're going to send you to a automated system so that you can put your credit card information in. Is that okay? They say yes. We take them, press a button, they go to the IVR. IVR prompts them to give their credit card information. That information comes back into the screen or into our CRM, the data gets saved. All we see is the last 4 digits of the credit card information. So then that way, if there's any disclosures or any of those types of things that we read, we can fill in those last 4 digits and we're okay there. So that's another method of just making sure that maybe your reps are totally fine, right? And you totally trust your reps, because I get that all the time. Well, if you can't trust your at-home reps, then why are you hiring them? And I might trust my reps 100%, but I might not trust their roommate, right? And the roommate may be walking right behind them and seeing your credit card number and just writing it down maybe without them even knowing it. There's a lot of things that, there's more variables. I guess that's all it is, right? I'm not saying it can't be overcome. There's just more variables to the at-home process, and you have to be prepared for that to make sure that that you're going to be okay. Kind of the same thing with HIPAA, but just making sure that you're using and you're masking calls and you're masking data as much as you possibly can. Especially on recordings, if you have the full digits of the credit card number that you're re-verifying, if any of that's on a recording, make sure that that's being masked. So I think that's really important. But so that's kind of what I have for you guys today. I know everybody's been really busy. I'm trying to make these a little bit shorter too. Not a lot of people just can hang out for a half hour and kind of listen to a call center podcast. So I just want to give you some tidbits that you can use here, that you can think through a little bit. But I think that hopefully can help you a little bit, with some of the security and some of the things that you're looking at. Also, just before I go to, any of you guys are looking to move to the cloud, move to a different contact center provider, looking for new software for your contact center or for your customer experience, let me know. We have it's callcentergeekconsulting.com is a website. There's a landing page there. If you'd like to talk to me, we can have just a quick one-on-one conversation. I can try to help you as much as I possibly can for any of the newer technology or software. If you're moving, after you've maybe had a bad COVID-19 experience with the platform that you were on, please do not hesitate. And also the community, Advice from a Call Center Geek Facebook community is really kind of hopping. So please, I encourage and everyone join that. I'll just request to be added, and I'll add you there as soon as I see it, and you guys can kind of join into that conversation as well. I think that's been a really cool resource for all of us as well to kind of use, and it's starting to be used more and more every single day now, which is pretty cool. So again, guys, thank you very much. Please stay safe. I hope all of you guys are doing very well. I hope that this has not affected you horrifically, and if it has, I hope that you can just hold on for just a little bit longer, and I think we should be at least starting to move to a point where we're getting back to normal. So again, thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to all you guys next week.